Joining us now is Okpe with stories trending around the world. Hello, Jinx.
Good morning, Dr. Abati.
Good
How
morning.
are you? Great. Good morning, Tundu Abiola.
Morning.
You are excellent. You represented the entire crew.
All by myself. I held it down for you guys.
Hi, Rufai. Good morning.
Please, this Friday, make it a date. I'll show you all the moves ever.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I trust you.
Is there another party this Friday?
No, you missed out.
You can't celebrate your birthday for just one. It has to be a week.
Well, all right, no problem. We'll invite Dr. Abati. You must twerk.
Yes.
Well, all right. Good morning to you, viewers. Here are some of the stories that are trending across the globe.
In France, President Emmanuel Macron defeated his far-right rival, Marine Le Pen, by a comfortable margin on Sunday to secure a second term, making him the first French president to do so in a generation. Macron's supporters erupted with joy as the results appeared on a giant screen at the Champs de Mars Park by the Eiffel Tower. In Ukraine, President Volodymyr Zelensky met with U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken and Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin on Sunday, the highest-level visit by an American delegation since the start of Russia's invasion. The U.S. envoys promised Zelensky more than $300 million in foreign military financing in its fight against Russia. In Nigeria, tributes continue to pour in for Oba Lamidi Olayiwola Adeyemi III, the Alaafin of Oyo, who died from an undisclosed illness on Friday, April 22nd. Oba Adeyemi III was born on October 15, 1938, into the Alowolodu royal family. He was crowned on January 14, 1971, spending more than 5 decades on the throne, and was one of the longest-serving kings in the history of modern Yoruba traditional rulers. He was 83 years old. Under sports, Formula One world champion Max Verstappen reignited his title bid with a dominant victory on Sunday at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. The 24-year-old Red Bull driver has now been named the 2022 Laureus World Sportsman of the Year, following his title triumph last season. Verstappen claimed 10 pole positions, 10 victories, and finished on the podium a record 18 times last season, the first ever Formula One World Championship record to be won by a Dutch driver. Finally, under entertainment, a host of Nollywood celebrities over the weekend attended the wedding ceremony of multiple award-winning filmmaker Kemi Adetiba, who is best known for the critically acclaimed movie King of Boys. Adetiba tied the knot with Ghanaian music executive Oscar Herman Aka at the Five Palm Event Center in Lagos. The duo were serenaded with a music performance by award-winning musician Simi.
I am all smiles. Congratulations, Kemi Adetiba. Tundu Abiola, you were at the wedding.
I
missed it because it was my birthday as well. Tell us quickly.
Did you hear me gasp
yes.
just now? Even though I was there and I saw her, just sing that again, I had to. So beautiful. Prodigiously talented human being.
Yes.
Beautiful inside out. Her whole movie, her whole wedding was like a movie set. It was gorgeous. And she bagged herself an Oscar.
Yes.
Wish her all the very best.
And congrats to Rita Dominic.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, Rita
Nollywood,
Dominic.
they've been celebrating weddings.
Yeah.
Well, let's begin what's trending with reactions trailing First Lady Aisha Buhari's Iftar dinner, in which she hosted presidential hopefuls from various political parties. The dinner was a topic of debate on social media over the weekend after pictures of the attendees began circulating online. Some of the aspirants in attendance include National Leader of the All Progressives Congress, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and David Umahi, Governor of Ebonyi State. Well, during the dinner, the First Lady encouraged the aspirants to ensure that the forthcoming elections are free and fair and advised them to adopt women as their running mates. Well, let's take some tweets. Well, this is from Aisha, who wrote, "I second her motion 100%. We should stop encouraging women's invisibility in Nigeria politics and in any girls for that matter. The future adores it. This is the future. We must be bold and courageous to allow women to shine. Everything is stupid without women. Everything. Well, right now, Mockery Road. So, Bola Tinubu went to Aisha Buhari's Ramadan Iftar. Ngige, Umahi, and El Rufai's attendance did not surprise me. But Tinubu, Reno is just a table shaker. He went on and on and on with his tweet. But Tundu, I wanted to say I really, really did appreciate her advice for the presidential hopefuls to select women. Just like our Kamala Harris in the United States, we should really have women in our front burner in politics. I love it. I love that idea.
I knew her heart was in the right place,
yes,
darling,
you said
didn't
that on Friday.
I knew it. But, you know, for me, what she has said is an acknowledgement of the fact that we will never get a seat on the table if there isn't, like, a concerted effort. Women will not organically emerge as leaders in this country. Something has to be done, which is exactly why there was that outcry and there were the protests when the National Assembly so cataclysmically dropped the ball. Women do need that kind of help. We need that kind of advocacy at all levels. So I think that's a great call from her. And I like that tweet from Issa. Everything is stupid without women.
Yes.
I need that on a T-shirt.
Yes. Everything is stupid without women. Go ahead, Rufai.
I mean, truly, everything is stupid without women. And we need to do more as regards not just women, but the rights of women in society. It is appalling that after 100 years of our amalgamation in 1914, till date, we've not had one elected woman in the helms of affairs in this country. We all know the circumstances at which Vejetiaba got into Anambra and became governor. And we've had women on the primary ballot since 1993. Sarah Jibrin was on that primary ballot of the SDP in 1993. We had women pushing the envelope since then, and nothing has been done. So I don't just want a time where, yeah, people make women running mates. I want the big prize for women.
Yes.
Men have failed Nigeria. Maybe it's time to try women. Yeah, because we've seen it. Same testosterone in the room since 1960. Where has it led us? Incompetent leadership. We've dropped the ball so many times. So maybe it's time. And part of the things that make it difficult for women is at first the societal outlook. Two, the fact that the bar is raised so high when it comes to buying forms, for instance, 100 million to get an APC form. So people need to set aside funding for women to be able to participate effectively in the process so that we have a country where the women can spend the men one for one and also, you know, gather that support necessary to make that mark. I don't just like the fact that, yeah, the governors on the ticket, we've got a lot of deputy governors in different states of the country that are women. I don't just want women to always take the vice position. I want women to be top on the ballot.
Well said, Rufai.
And compete effectively. I know it will take a long time, but it is possible in this country.
Absolutely. Why not? Well said. Dr.
Well,
Abati.
Nigeria produced its first female member of the House of Representatives in the First Republic. That was Wura Laison. First woman Nigerian to be in the Senate was Senator Franca Afebua. And since then, and with Nigeria being a signatory to the Convention on the Elimination of Discrimination Against Women, the argument has been very strong. First, about non-discrimination against women across board, whether it's in politics or it's in society generally. And, you know, affirmative action became part of the conversation. But with all of that development, we've not done so much. Every election cycle, we hear the same story. Women should be allowed to participate, but if we check the percentage of women in the National Assembly or in the legislature, you know, down the line, we haven't made much progress since the days of Mrs. Wura Laison. Now, this is the First Lady now joining that train of seeking the empowerment of women. And one First Lady after the other had always talked about empowerment for women. We had better life for rural women.
Better life for rural
women. You know, at a point in this...
with Miriam Babangida,
yeah, so
yes.
We've had all these First Ladies pushing the same envelope. And so it's no different with Mrs. Aisha Buhari. But the point she made was about politicians choosing women as running mates. Before now, she made a point that political parties should give strategic positions to women. That was at another event last year that she made that point. But what we're asking for is inclusion, because this whole argument is about the inclusion of women, so that women are not marginalized, so that they are not restricted to the women's wing, so that they are empowered, not as the kind of tokenism of saying don't pay nomination form, but women to be centered, effectively. Because the point she made is that women, yes, they are the ones who go to vote. They have the voting power. But at the same time, they can contribute to growth and development in Nigeria. To that extent, I think she's right. And we can keep pushing the envelope and talking to presidential aspirants. She probably struck the right note. Now, she also went ahead to talk about the 2023 elections. And she was saying she wants fair and credible elections in 2023. And that she would like a situation where it was like this kind of election that brought President Buhari, our husband, to power in 2015. Nobody went to court. There was no rancor. The only thing she missed out was to say that the Buhari administration is not the aspirants themselves. They are, as politicians, maybe they have a role to play. But to say that the Buhari administration must behave the way the Jonathan administration behaved in 2015 by making available the structures, the enabling environment that will deliver. So I hope that Mrs. Buhari, will also remember to pass that message to the people in charge of the process in Nigeria. Well, attendance, I think, was fair enough. They were there. I was asking Governor of Bauchi State yesterday whether they gave them pepper soup and jollof rice. How did I miss that? But he couldn't give me an idea of the menu. But I noted that the vice president was not there. He sent, we're told, a representative. So what exactly happened? Some people are curious. Was the vice president on an assignment for the president, or he just chose to send a representative? Because his absence was quite loud and, notable. Maybe the vice president,
Dr. Abati,
didn't want to.
The comments are there; they're everywhere on social media.
So
the
where
vice
do you
president
think I'm going?
Was avoiding.
Dr. Abati, is that probably?
Well, I didn't say so. Maybe you are quoting some other.
No, I'm quoting the tweets on social media.
Is that probably why we see on the front page of this day that Kiamu beats that farewell, and we see Vice President there in Eforo on Saturday?
Maybe it was
so
on
maybe,
the national.
probably he was there.
Yes.
Well,
absolutely.
The burial was during the daytime. The Iftar was in the evening. The Vice President, has access to presidential jet. If he wanted to be back in time for the Iftar, he would have been able to make it. Okay, that excuse me.
Representation is fair enough, right?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. The person ate the jollof rice on his back.
Well, all right. We should Tundu. How do you deal with this?
Say one word.
We shall take another story. Presidential spokesman Garba Shehu has come under fire on social media for saying criticism of the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari contributed to the delaying of the delivery of Super Tucano fighter jets ordered from the United States. Well, in October 2021, the federal government announced the delivery of 12 A-29 Super Tucano fighter jets from the U.S. In a statement on Sunday, the spokesman said the jets were requested in 2015, but the delivery of the jets was initially delayed over concerns raised by the United States on religious issues in Nigeria. Well, according to him, religious supporters, including the Catholic Bishop of Sokoto Diocese, Matthew Kukah, joined the opponents who criticized the federal government. Well, let's take some tweets. Well, this person wrote, "And now that the Super Tucano jets are here, what impact have they made? Have the killings stopped? Meaning that there was sense in Kukah's criticism?" Well, another person in response says, yeah, it also contributed to the closure of Kaduna Airport, the attack on Abuja-Kaduna train, and Abuja-Kaduna roads attack. In fact, he's the reason Kaduna is inaccessible from Abuja by air, road, and rail. Well, obviously Nigerians are going to come for Garba Shehu with these comments. But I think he made some valid points, which is what the U.S. would Obviously, because, I mean, that's where you're ordering the jets from. And they want to know where the jets are going. And obviously, they are getting information from Nigeria, and they're using that information to assess whether or not they want to send jets to Nigeria. So, I mean, if the federal government wanted to stop terrorism earlier, they probably should have ordered somewhere else. I don't think it's just the U.S. that makes the fighter jets.
I think that Bishop Kukah is responsible for the extinction of dinosaurs. Every ill is his fault. Let me just let you know that. But for me here, this is just a really, on the broader level, it's an interesting conversation now that we're officially in silly season, when people on social media and elsewhere feel the need to actually fall out with their friends, neighbors, family, over politicians that will not spit on you if you were on fire. My question now is, when can a harsh critic still be a proud patriot? Are the two mutually exclusive terms? As far as I'm concerned, they are not. You have the right of free speech. You have the right to express your experience of your own country without being accused of national sabotage. I just don't think that the two are related at all. And I think the U.S. has, I can't imagine how many staff they have in Nigeria. They have their whole diplomatic corps here. They have their own fact-finding mechanisms. So I don't think he can be blamed as an individual, or those other people that Malam Shehu is referring to as opponents of the administration. I don't think any right-thinking Nigerian would be an opponent of the government of the day. We all want the government of the day to succeed. Yes. So I reject that argument there. With regards to the Super Tucanos as the reason why we continue to be sort of plagued by terrorists, I don't buy that either, because the president himself said, according to the National Security Advisor just last week, that all the logistics are provided and still no results. So if we're looking to assign blame here, I think we need to look elsewhere.
Very well said, Tundu.
It seems to me, as we tried to indicate earlier, that it looks like the government, through Garuba Shehu, is giving excuses. Excuses that may not be of great interest to Nigerians. The second thing also is that he's trying to hit back at Bishop Matthew Azan Kukah, who only recently on this same program, and during Easter, in his homily, was very critical of the government. And he said he was challenging Garuba Shehu and Femi Adesina and the Minister of Information to a debate if they were willing to engage him. Maybe this is Garuba Shehu's own way of engaging Father Matthew Azan Kukah. Two things here. He said that, one, predicting the collapse of Nigeria has been the pastime of U.S. policy experts and think tanks, but that Nigeria has not collapsed. That we've had 23 years of uninterrupted democracy, and it's been more than 29 years since the last coup was staged in Nigeria. But that U.S. experts are always predicting that Nigeria will collapse, Nigeria will collapse. Or like John Campbell say that, we're dancing on the brink, at the edge of a precipice. Now, two, he said U.S. policy towards Nigeria has been inconsistent. Well, that's the nature of U.S. foreign policy process. The U.S. foreign policy process is based on a carrot and stick approach. Okay? When the Americans think that you are doing very well, they give you the carrots. When they think that they have issues with you, they offer you carrots with one hand, they hold the stick on the other hand. So saying that, it's nothing extra, it's nothing, so original, because that's just the way U.S. foreign policy process is constructed. And in the case of Nigeria, we have seen it, as he himself claims, with regard to supply of military equipment to Nigeria. I've given several examples from our own administration. And he said when they got there in 2015, there was a promise to assist Nigeria with military equipment, hence the Tucano jets. But that was suspended, until 2017. But eventually, I think when the Biden administration assumed office, I think it was still under Trump, they eventually agreed to sell those Tucano jets. And 6 of those jets have been supplied. The 6 that have been supplied, what has the Nigerian government done with them? Because, this was the question raised by Governor El-Rufai when he said, you have these Tucano jets. You know where the terrorists are. Why don't you use these jets and go and, flush them out? So that is the question that he did not answer. And the same U.S., under President Biden, has gone ahead to promise the sale of Cobra jets, fighter jets, Cobra fighter jets, up to the tune of about $1 billion 1 billion, is it naira or dollars, okay, with precision attack, helicopters. Okay, when we get those equipment, are we going to use them? The same U.S. has pledged $25 million for training of the Nigerian military in international laws of armed conflict and in humanitarian law, so that the fears expressed by the Committee on Foreign Relations of the U.S. about sale of equipment to a government that at the time they were accusing of authoritarianism, would not create more problems. As for Father Matthew Hassan Kukah, well, he has shown courage. He says he will be consistent in criticizing the government of the day because that is his job. And someone has also added that, look, don't attack the messenger, attack the message. And Father Kukah has documented his position with regard to the performance of the government, and he has also, defended his position publicly at every possible opportunity. I would have loved, Garuba Shehu to address those points raised by Father Kukah instead of accusing him of lack of patriotism, of going to talk to Congress. I think in that statement, he even made the point that Father Kukah is writing a blog for John Campbell.
Yes, I saw that.
How is that an offense for somebody to want to do a book and ask you to do a comment on the dust cover? And Father Kukah is a public intellectual.
Yeah.
He can comment on anybody's book.
Yeah.
So is it now questioning his bona fide as a public intellectual, as a PhD holder? So this is how ridiculous some of these things can go. But I'm sure Father, Bishop Kukah, may probably not dignify that comment with any response. Because if he writes a blog, I mean, he's doing his job as a public intellectual.
Absolutely, Rufai.
So for me, criticism is the foundation of patriotism.
Yeah.
You need to criticize until your country gets better. Why are we a joke today? It's sad that I keep saying that we're a joke in the Committee of Nations because we had so much potential back in the days. The other country we are buying weapons from, when did they start producing weapons? When did Turkey start producing the Bayraktar drone? Was it not 2014? But because we failed over the years to support private industry in this country. It's private people that even produce all these military weapons, but they produce them in the country. When we're setting up Nigeria Airways, and we wasted Nigeria, it was not that same time in 1959 that Embraer, that makes the Tucano, set up their own plane-making company. So it is time for us to introspect and look inward, support private enterprise, make the country better. You two will start producing ammunition and the like. So we keep, America takes you for a joke because you've not done a lot to introspect and make your own country better. Now you are blaming Father Kukah. Is it Father Kukah's fault that a country that has so much potential in the 60s today can't even produce its own military gear and equipment? Nigeria had great capacity now, so why do we keep deceiving ourselves? Is Father Kukah your problem?
Unbelievable. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you
much,
always for your beautiful analysis.
So the celebration of your birthday continues.
It does continue today. Well, all right. That's all I have for you on What's Trending today. I'll see you all tomorrow.